there's a way I would handle relationships before. That's not the way I'm doing it now.
Yeah.
So what used to happen before was I was a free spirit. You know, in fact, most of my friends will tell me, Kathleen, you're very nonchalant.
Yeah.
Me, I'm that babe. Oh, me, I'm not funny about chonjo. You know,
good.
It sounds good. You know, I mean, as long as
Good for you.
it's good, good. You know, fitty, you know.
Anywhere where someone says ati uvumilie. Hakuna kitu mzuri ya kuvumilia. No. Me, by the way, and there's no glorifying suffering. There's no glorifying
and I feel like
suffering.
I don't know
not
if
in
we've
this
been
life.
gaslit into thinking suffering is really good.
Hi guys, welcome back to Behind the Curtain podcast with Centonomy. I'm the captain of the ship today. My name is Ruby and I'd like you to welcome my guests.
I'm Wangari.
Hi, I'm Omboy.
Kathleen.
All right, welcome back to yet another episode where we're having an amazing conversation regarding how the year has been. I mean, guys, 2024 is already over. Can you believe it? Juicy too. How are we?
It had somewhere to be. It had somewhere to be.
It really did have somewhere to be.
Already. 2025 ko wapi?
Hiya, guys. One word to describe 2024 for you.
Kai. Yo.
Where?
What's mine? Wangari, go first. And
I'm going to start with my word of the year was surrender.
Okay.
And I feel, if at all I could describe the year, I feel for me it has been an year of steering the wheel differently.
Okay.
Yeah, because I knew that, especially because I turned 28, and that means that it's been 10 years of being an adult. Wow. So that means, what have I been doing the last 10 years? What do I have to show for the last 10 years? So it's a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah.
A lot of emotions, a lot of things that have gone well, but also a lot of grieving of things that I feel like maybe I should have been doing this, maybe I should have been somewhere different. So it's been a lot. It's been overwhelming, but I'm grateful that I'm here. Yeah.
We're also grateful.
And anyone else who had word of the year? Because even for me, growth. No one prepares you for what growth comes with a lot.
Wait, what?
Mimi nasikia tu nipumue.
I think even mine is growth, by the way.
Mimi hata sikumbuki. Naona kama ilikuwa surrender pia or something close to that. But we've had a lot of conversations. I think it was surrender. And
I think mine has to be growth. And I think another unique thing about this year is I felt the most patriotic. Patriotic of all my years of existence.
Being a Kenyan has been a full-time job.
It has been a full-time job. It has woken
start, stop, continue.
Has woken up with like a start work.
Unakasirika every day.
Sasa unazoea makasiriko, imagine. Hakuna otherwise.
I've realized like I really love this country. I really love my country. I really don't want to leave. It's just that it's so bad that
I imagine
it's political, but that has been my feeling of this year.
I agree with you, Wambo. I also don't want to leave. I want to stay here. But it also feels like as we are staying, every day you're just being sucker punched. One day it's this, the next day it's that. But I mean, it needs to end.
Like that. It has been like that for everyone. But personally, I can say growth.
For me,
tulishusha nyavu. Me sometimes, let me tell you, power of the tongue. By the way, I'm very purposeful about every song that I sing. Me, I'm not riding with the wave.
Yes.
Hiyo kwanza ya Christine. Unashusha nyavu too because everyone is doing that. But whatever you're catching, you have to deal with that for the rest of the year.
Exactly.
And there's nothing you can do about it. And then sisi wote tulishusha nyavu. Like it was a common cause. Now look at us.
Ndo sisi hapa. Tumebeba.
Just
I think for me there's been a lot of unlearning and relearning. And that surrender thing is quite a hard thing. It's one thing to say that you'll surrender, but you realize that there are things that are so close to heart and we can carry. So I also feel like it's been overwhelming. A lot has changed. I've had to forget so many things that I've known like since I'm young and try and learn what is in the present. So hata mimi niko tu kwa 2024. Tuko karibu kusema cheers. Mimi niko sawa.
Adios muchachos.
Anyway, we've gotten that out of the way. So Sasa, Ebu, you guys tell me, what's one fun thing that you've done this year?
One thing, I think for me, of course, is that I'm part of a running club.
Okay. Hey.
You know, because don't look at me.
Yeah, start with Wangari. She can tell us. She'll give us a good summary.
Actually, by the time Q4 was starting, I wanted a 30-day challenge, something to just finish the year strong. So I was like, what are some of these daily challenges could I be part of? One, it is right now I'm studying French on Duolingo, so that's a fun thing. The second thing was exercising every day, because for me fitness really helps keep me sane. So I've been working out every day since October began, and also running. And also like running is something that I love. We participated in the Standard Chartered Marathon as an organization, so that was cool. And the other thing, so it was Duolingo, exercising, and the other thing I forget, but being part of a running club was really, it was daily savings on chums, the Mia Kwa Mia challenge. Yes. So it was 3 things. Duolingo, Mia Kwa Mia challenge, and exercising every day. So yeah, I've been loving it.
Yeah. If I'm being honest, your daily saving at chums. Nilikuwa mi hapo August. Hapo August ndio mambo ili happen, but I really wanted to finish this year strong with the 52-week challenge. But I am so proud of myself because I got to the 8th month.
Okay.
Last year Wamboy will never have gotten to the 8th month.
Well done, Wamboy.
So me, that's a part of my back for me. Yeah, so that's 52-week challenge.
Mimi, I think I've just gotten by.
And that's fine. Fine.
It's been that year. One thing after the other.
Yeah.
I remember starting the year.
Yes.
Growth.
Yeah.
Growth. Yeah. And I remember writing it down. We are normally challenged. Write down everything that you want to accomplish in the year. I remember writing every down and even prayed about it, put it in my Bible.
Yes.
The first few months of the year, like, to tick. Okay, we are achieving these things, And then it got to a point where life had to stop for me to do a lot of recalculations. You're talking about unlearning so many things.
Yeah.
Me, life had to make me unlearn. Like I would find myself in situations where I would have to recalculate. Kathleen last year would have done this and would have gotten away with it.
Yes, they're getting away with it. That's the best part.
Easily. Kabisa.
Yeah.
But this year, you try to do the same thing, but then you realize it can't. So you have to do a lot of unlearning, a lot of relearning, and even just being honest with yourself and saying, hey, by the way, you can't continue life doing this. Number one.
Yeah.
It
won't fly.
Yeah, it won't. Like, I told you about being delusional.
Yes.
So this year,
Delulu is not the Solulu.
Not the Solulu. So this year, I've done so many things, almost everything that I've wanted to do, but it has come with a lot of teachings, and that is where I'm basking. I'm calling it the glory of this year. So I'm basking in the glory of that to try and ensure that whatever lesson I need to learn, I'm learning it so that 2025, I don't want it, So I'm taking it all in.
Wow.
It's uncomfortable at times. It's overwhelming at times. But I'm loving that I'm doing this for me. It's not because I want my life to look like this in the next 3 years. It's because I feel, hey, I need to do this for me. And there's that gut feeling. So we usually talk about that spirit of discernment. That's what late last year, I felt like this year will be different, but I didn't know how.
What does different
just
look
felt
like?
like I need to position myself so that whatever happens, I'm good. So I didn't know if it's financially, so I had to ensure, I'm okay financially, spiritually, get in touch with yourself. You're recalculating a lot of things. You're rethinking some of the decisions you've made. Let me tell you, when life happened, upon when thank you, Jesus, I listened to you. So that thing of kushusha nyavu, mimi sahi niko
Situshi tena ni hivyo, nimebeba za kutosha basi. Tukienda 2025 hakuna kushusha nyavu.
Nimeshusha mimi sibebi mizigo tena. No. But it has been an awesome year, The learnings and unlearnings have been in equal measure.
Okay.
I'm not the same Kathleen as last year. I'm far much wiser. I'm far much accountable to myself and my actions. I'm far much honest with what I want and what I don't want as Kathleen, And ndo nakwambia last year,
Completely different.
Kathleen wa last year na Kathleen wa sahi.
Wako hivi.
Ai wa sahi by the apigiwe makofi.
Tupige makofi bana. Vile inafaa.
Vile inafaa,
Yeah. For me, fun this year has been traveling.
Oh.
And you know, the interesting thing about it is last year, I don't know what happened, but I didn't travel. So this year when I was getting into the year, I was like, I really, really want to travel. So some things have been planned, other things have found me, but I've really enjoyed travel. I've enjoyed road trips. I've enjoyed just experiencing places I've not been before. That for me this year has been really, really nice. And I'm so grateful, especially because just as you're saying, as much as I've experienced the fun, there've also been some other things that have just really teared apart.
Yeah.
And I wanted to talk about something that caught you off guard, and I'll start. Me this year, parenting has caught me off guard. And I know that sounds weird because I've been a parent for, I think this is year 11, but the things that I've experienced in this year parenting wise, must me throw off. Like I've just been wondering, is it me, the parent? Is it the children? What is it? But one of the things that I would like to say that, and you know, it just aligns with what I'm saying about relearning and unlearning and relearning, is that like for me this year, parenting just threw me off. I realized some things that I was doing and I thought were the right way of parenting were actually kind of a way of overcompensating for something that is not there.
True.
This adulting way. But I think the thing I'm celebrating myself for is I've taken it in stride. Even with, of course, there are days I've cried myself to sleep, maybe because I'm like, oh my God, what if fundamentally I'm actually doing a thing that is wronging these two amazing human beings that God has allowed me to be a custodian of. But I've also appreciated the, sitting with myself and saying, okay, Ruby, this was the wrong way to do it. You have listened to wisdom. Folks have shared, friends, and I'm really grateful for the community because truly bringing up a child or children by yourself, there's nothing like that. It takes a community. So the thing I'm celebrating myself for is I'm still here and I'm still parenting and I'm grateful for the things that I've learned and I can still be able to do it well. Yeah.
For me, I would say relationships generally, platonic, romantic, etc.
Yeah.
There's a way I would handle relationships before. That's not the way I'm doing it now.
Yeah.
So what used to happen before was I was a free spirit. In fact, most of my friends will tell me, Kathleen, you're very nonchalant.
Yeah.
Me, I'm that babe. Oh, umeamua kufanya hivyo chonjo.
Sounds good.
It sounds good. I mean, as long as
good for you.
It's good. Fitty. But this year, I've had to sit down and think, okay, so why are you doing that? Ama if you're doing it to me, what about me made you think that it's okay for you to do that? Wow. So I'm not like just bluffing and saying, okay, Ruby umenifanyia hivyo, ni sawa, you're still my friend, let's continue with life. Yeah. But this year, nakaa chini najiuliza, how did I appear to Ruby to make it okay for her, to do that, and it has been very uncomfortable because I have to learn a lesson so that it doesn't happen again,
And reflection is a tough phase.
It's tough. And then the other thing is you realize so many of your friends will not hold you accountable. Like in your clique of friends, and most people tell me I'm a wolf because you'll never find me in packs. I'm always alone.
You're the lone ranger.
I don't know. I just love my space that much. Yeah. But I've realized in order for me to get by in the society, I have to be part of a circle, part of a clique, part of something. That's how opportunities come. Yeah. And I'm privileged to have people who put me in these spaces, But then again, you come to realize not everybody's for you who's in that space, And the thing about me, I will accommodate you as much as possible. In fact, people tell me before Kathleen does away with something, she gives it so much grace that by the time she says, adios,
she really
there's nothing left for me to give. I've done everything. So this year I've had to sit down with myself and say, Maze, this is not my fight. This is not my fight. I like you as a friend. I like you as a partner, but you really have to do this alone.
That's hard.
It's hard. It's hard to just sit in a corner and say, hey, baby, have you tried therapy? Like I'm just giving you tips. I will not be your therapist because hata mimi niko na issues zangu, but just to suggest, have you tried talking to this person? And then some of the things, like now, let me give you an example. So you realize humans like to talk about other human beings.
Yeah.
It's just something that's there. So we'll probably be in the office and then someone comes and tells me, hey, have you seen Ruby today? You know, mimi sitaki kujua. You know
Go
me.
like this. Keep that story to yourself.
Keep that story to yourself. Let me be delusional. Let me just experience Ruby for myself. So that mtu akikuja niambie Ruby ni mbaya. Hapana.
Nitajua
Ruby ni
either
mbaya
nimemu
kwako.
experience ama sija experience.
Vile mimi experience Ruby, mimi nimemu experience vizuri, you know. So when someone comes and tells me, by the way, you know, this person alikuwa anaongea vibaya juu huyu mtu, mimi sitachukia huyo mtu anaongea vibaya. Mimi I look at you. Wewe mbona ulikuwa unakaa hapo unasikiza huyu akiongea vibaya?
Na wewe ukikam kureport, una report na ango gani? Juu ulikuwa hapo, ulikuwa una contribute.
And trust me,
utaniambia venye wewe ulisema.
Last year ningekuwa hapo, alisema. Alikuwa.
For real?
Hivyo ndo na alafu mpaka hata nachangia. But sasa niko not my fight. Mimi I was not there when they were doing that. I would really not love to be part of it. So your self-reflection, introspecting a lot of things and recalculating a lot of things. That's the growth I feel like life has given me this year. So next year hata nafikiria sijui niseme happiness ama niseme unaona utoto words.
Light, keep it light. Katili umenikumbusha something very interesting. An experience that I went through this year, and it was a bit, So I'm also very free-spirited as far as friendships are concerned. And actually, I'm the one who will always check up. But this year, I've experienced a different kind of me that I'm also kind of trying to learn, okay, who is this chick? Because I found myself in spaces where I'm like, imagine, no, I don't feel like reaching out. I don't feel like I want to overextend myself. And one of the experiences I experienced with a very close friend of mine this year is they were going through a very difficult time. But, you know, just what you said, it's really hard to give honest feedback. So you're like, nitakwambia hadi. But I found myself in a situation by then nilieka sasa hii urafiki nini everything chini, and I'm like, this is the honest feedback. You need to do ABCD. And it was hard. But now looking at it as I'm winding up the year, I feel like I did it justice. I said the truth. I said exactly what I thought that the previous Ruby would never have done. I would have just been like, hey, you utakuwa overstep Ruby, keep your mouth shut, usiseme sana. But I'm so grateful that I did it. And to be honest, the reception wasn't very positive, and that's okay. But from where I'm sitting, I honestly said what I was thinking, and I didn't say it to anybody else. I said it to them. So I'm like, imagine ni sawa tu. Itaenda.
For me, I think the thing that has caught me off guard is adulting. Adulting is relentless. Adulting is relentless, and I cannot imagine. I feel like I've just been put into. I feel like I'm still baby.
And now you're being put into this rough world.
I'm responsible for my own self. I even tell the people I sit with. By the way, me, I don't even know kama nitakula leo. Nikikosa kula leo, hakuna mtu ataniuliza. Literally, naweza kuwa nimekula Indomie 7 days in a row na mamangu hata ajui akishwali. Ningekuwa na yange kwa amenipikia ugali hapo na maziwa, but actually adulting is relentless, and it sucks because I read somewhere we grew up in the best age of being a child, and now in the worst age of being an adult.
So a time to be an adult, things are getting haywire.
Now when it's my turn to adult, everything is expensive. Now when it's my turn to adult, nalipa housing levy. It's crazy. Shifsha ninalipa zote.
Na ni kama kila kitu inanitu kireduce.
Adulting is relentless. That's the thing that has toward me this year. I think that's the only thing.
And then the thing about adulting is to also realize that at some point no one will ever save you.
Okay,
Let
me tell you.
You will be punched in the face by life, but you just have to fight back.
That thing for no one will ever save you.
No one is coming to save you.
And the thing is, they're not coming to save you because they're also going through adulting.
Exactly. And probably the worst of it, and you don't even know.
Yeah. Exactly. You're not the main character in everyone's life.
That's true. And I think for mimi kwanza unajua I was an only child for like 15 years. So I thought at part of my growing up, I had it in my head that I'm the main character in everybody's life. Where? Please come hapa wewe uko karibu, you're almost bottom of the pyramid. Hujafika bottom lakini you're pretty close. But now actually thinking about, even if I just think about just me and the things I've gone through this year, I completely understand the way someone could be really going through it. And the people
me, I've come to appreciate, you know, those people that come across as cold,
Yeah.
rough.
Yes.
Me, those are my people.
Yeah.
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 Because najulizanga, what's beneath this? This
What's happening here?
what really happened? Nini,
Yeah.
what really went on in your life that
Yeah.
made you feel the need for you to move around with this hard, And I came to realize the people who are like that inakwanga protective cover, such that if Ruby, you want to come at me, where? That roughness.
Yeah, you're like,
but beneath Nico, I really like Ruby. I really want you to be my friend. Wangare, I like the way you vibe.
Yeah.
But uskitu sikudanganye that unaweza fanyia Kathleen hivi na hivi na hivi. Now those are my kind of people. And then nika realize it goes back to your childhood.
Yes.
So now when you say this is the worst time to be an adult, so you're dealing with so many things, and then now you have to go and heal yourself.
And it's on you.
And it's on you.
Nobody's going to come and say, "What an excitement."
It's on you. That's why now you realize.
Now I have to go to work. Now I have to come back home and cook for myself. And now I have to do therapy. Easy kumoja.
You have to wear clean clothes. You have to do the dishes.
Forgive someone.
This brain will think about how to get Centonomy to the next level, and it will still think about how do I heal myself.
Oh,
and you'll still budget and be like, "Hii pesa haitoshi."
Na bado nisumbuliwe na shifsha.
Kuna mtu atakuomba pesa.
Na bado niombe pesa.
Na mtu akukasirisha kwa matatu, mtu mwingine akukasirisha kwa ofisi, mwingine akukasirisha home, yani can you imagine? Wewe tu just you one person.
Moja tupige nduru.
I think that's we need to scream to scream alafu tuache.
Itutoke tusikie vizuri, itutoke.
Alafu urudi tu kwa hiyo nyumba uende upike iko kitchen.
Wajao nimeona mna feel yenye kuna pressure sana. Hebu acha tu change gear kidogo ndio mwache nimeona mmebeba hii mwaka imewafanya nini. Wacha turudi. Let's talk about achievements. What are some of the things that you've done this year that you're extremely proud of yourself for?
Oh my God. Let me tell you, I had purposed.
Yeah.
Not many people, we usually say not many people know what their talents are. If I ask what is your talent, you dilly-dally around that question. So a lot of my friends will tell me, Kathleen, you speak greatly in public. Maybe sinanga woga. I'll probably say it as it is. And I don't, alafu sometimes I have zero regard for what position you hold. So if you come at me and tell me I'm the CEO or I'm the founder or I'm the president or what and what, me, I want to know, but who are you?
You as an individual.
You as an individual, who are you? So I purposed this year to put myself in spaces where I'm speaking. Okay. I'm speaking about things that I have to learn about. So I'm also growing mentally, also knowledge-wise also. And I remember my recent achievement, let me just talk about it, is the Learning and Development Conference, the first ever in East Africa. How it came to me, I didn't even go looking for it. This is how people believe in you, and you don't even know you have capacity to do some of these things. So a friend of mine sent me something and said, "Hey Kathleen, I feel like you can do this. Nice. You apply." Nikasema sasa ni ya kuapply tena. Hizi ni nini sasa, So I went through the link. Naona vitu za AU agenda G26. I know these things I learned about them kitambos, and I don't want to think about these things now. Okay. But I decided, let me just do this. So I had to write a concept note about the topic that I wanted to discuss. And I was thinking long and hard about what can I talk about when it comes to learning and development, especially at Centonomy, because that's what we do. We train people, and I didn't want to talk about personal finance because I feel like we've talked about this so many times. So what's that other thing that I can talk about? Then the whole topic of sustainable leadership came to mind. Sasa Ruby Wangari Wambo, utasimama wapi uongea about sustainable leadership? I really struggled with that topic, but I felt deep inside that this is something that I need to talk about. So I did the concept notes and I forgot about it completely. Oh, wow. Until one time I saw in my email, you've been selected to speak. Mimi Kathleen. Alafu it's around that time unaanza kupata LinkedIn. She wants to follow. What have you seen about this babe?
You're following who?
Me, you know. Then now I had to, at some point they said me I'm not gonna do it. And I remember talking to my partner and he told me, Kai, you will do it. Like there was we're not negotiating. Not a conversation. He just said, and I remember because he's not in Kenya, so I remember just texting him, by the way, this has come to my table. Do you think, I don't think I can do it. He just replied in capital letters with an exclamation, you will do it. Period. Yes. And I had to sit that with me for the longest time. Nilikuwa nafungua hivi PowerPoint na sasa naanzaje? How will I, this presentation? But let me tell you, when I did that talk, the standing ovation, the questions that were coming, the comments on social media. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Just believe in yourself. Believe in the future of your dreams.
Yes.
You know?
Absolutely.
Again, be delusional.
Yeah.
I feel like
To an extent.
To an extent.
Yeah, to an extent, guys.
To an extent. So that's one of the achievements that I'm really proud of. And another one, being nominated for an award. You know, some of these things that happen, you know, you just realize, okay, I'm actually doing something for myself. You know, so even Wangari, when you're saying you're recalculating 10 years, trying to realize what have you done for yourself. Now, these are some of the things that come. And when they come, they don't come, you don't realize them, people will tell them to you. Oh, but I remember seeing you on TV. I remember you doing this on radio. I remember you're doing Instagram lives and whatnot. No, these are some of the things that will make you realize I'm actually doing good for myself.
Exactly. Yeah. All right.
Yes. For me, one thing I feel that I've achieved, or just I feel like in this season, when I was beginning the year, I was really deliberate and intentional about expanding, because I felt that there's more to be done, there's more to be achieved. And this reminds me, this is the book that you lent to me. It's called the
Pilgrimage.
The Pilgrimage. And there's a quote that says that the ship is safest at the port, but that is not what ships are made for. And I felt like sometimes it's so easy to sit in a place of comfort, and I felt like a ship who has been at the harbor for a minute, and I felt like I am made for more.
Yes, you are.
And so I intentionally decided that in this year that I'm going to, pursue that calling, that inner calling. And I decided to, just to expand in whatever areas that I feel like God is whispering, just pivot here. And that's how I started my IG lives, and talk, because I love having conversations about money. I have conversation even with my friends about money. There was a time that conversations about money were taboo. Me nowadays, I have friends of mine, they know how much I earn, my salary, they know the investments that I've made, I know my friends' investments and all that, because we are no longer, as in, money shouldn't be a taboo topic. And I think it's because it has been a taboo topic, and there's a lot of also identity issues, and especially because people also equate their net worth with their self-worth,
True.
And even for you even to know how can you expand, because you're also looking to create wealth and live abundantly. So I think for me, doing the IG lives, I felt like it was in purpose. Doing radio interviews, that was in purpose.
Good job.
We celebrate with you.
I think the thing about working in Centonomy, you work with such brilliant minds.
Yes, I agree.
Every day, everyone is achieving something. So for me, I think mine might seem non-serious, but it's very serious.
Imagine it's serious. Yes.
I promise I'm a serious person. I do not joke all the time.
She is.
We've seen a little bit of this. Okay, a lot. We've seen a lot. One boy is serious. She's serious.
But if I can say anything.
Niviliana glasses.
Listen, man. Sioni. Anyway. So one of my biggest achievements, and the most important one, is I've kept myself alive this year. I have kept myself alive.
It's no mean feat.
Let me tell you, my mom still has her child. I have kept myself alive. And I think, like I said earlier, adulting has been quite a journey. And I feel like this year I have learned so much about myself. I have grown so much. I keep telling my friends, like, I feel so much. Yani frontal lobe ilikuwa delivered. So many things are making sense in my life, and I think this year was supposed to just teach me who I am as a person, and that's my biggest achievement, that I'm learning. I keep learning who I am. Thank you, guys.
I'm with you
that I'm learning who I am, and I feel like my life is gonna usually. Nafanyanga hizi, I'm psychic kidogo. Or
you can see.
I'm psychic, whichever one. I feel like my life is gonna be so much easier now that I know who I am. So 2024 was all about learning myself, keeping myself alive. And I'm glad I've done that so far.
Good job. Good job. Wow. I think for me, this year has had a lot of stretching. Like, I've been stretched, and I'm just like, guy, Nivo, bus. I didn't stop. But one of the things that was a big highlight for me was speaking in the EQ conference. So let me tell you,
It was yes.
It's very, very
Oh,
interesting.
yeah.
As when I was doing my, what is it called? The year in Compass, I wrote down emotional intelligence. And in fact, actually, to be honest, I wanted to do a course in emotional, and I haven't done that, but I know that I'll get to it. So when I got that thing, I was just like, I'm a joke. Mimi, speaker. I no, what's the topic? But this year, I think one of the things that I found so powerful is, first of all, my name has been mentioned in rooms that I cannot even believe. And I'm so grateful for those people who see something that I might not see and just decide, listen, I want to connect you to this person to be able to do this. So speaking was such a big highlight for me. This year as well, I was able, and so it's interesting. I spoke at the EQ conference and I also got an opportunity to teach about EQ. Yani, Mungu tu, Mungu
And you wrote it down.
Mungu tu. And I wrote it down, but I didn't even know what it meant at that particular time. I was thinking more along doing a course around EQ because I really just enjoy that. I think another thing that I've really enjoyed is from I think late last year, I picked up like moderating the graduations for Centonomy. And let me tell you guys, the number of times I've thought of quitting are many. Let me just say the truth, because I'm like, I don't know, is it working? Am I doing a good job? But I've also intentionally just put in the work to research a bit more, learn a bit more, watch a bit more. And I'm really, I don't take it for granted because it's a platform for me to be able to do something that I find really interesting and I love. And I think the other thing that stands out for me is I think somewhere along this year, or maybe I've always known that I have a gift of encouragement. I know the Bible says that, people have different gifts, but this year more than ever, I've exercised that gift. And let me tell you, it's interesting when, you're seated somewhere and God whispers, send Kathleen a message and you're like, I haven't talked to Kathleen in 3 weeks. Nitaanzaje kumtumia message, encouragement, I don't know context. But just that walking in obedience has actually found me telling people something. They're like, oh my God, thank you so much. I needed to hear this today. And I'm really working and trying to be really intentional to carry that with me, that I know that it's a gift that I have and that I actually use it to be able to just encourage people, to help people to become the best versions of themselves. And I've also realized that I really do see the best in people. And I know based on the fact that you can encounter people who are either scammers or people who have a negative side. But this year, I'm also just really trying to teach myself to focus on the good, and the good that I see, that I actually give feedback. Sometimes it's easy for us to say, good job. I'ma just be like, yeah, Kit is doing a really good job, but not actually say it. Well, that person, you just telling them that they're doing a good job could completely shift that place that they're sitting on. So moving forward, it's something that I really want to be more intentional about, just giving people their flowers.
And even talking about that, there's something I've been thinking about lately a lot, about in what ways am I Wangari self-sabotaging? Yes, in what ways? And sometimes it's sabotage can look like you are gifted in a particular area. And you see how like Ronaldo, not Messi.
Ronaldo. Oh, okay.
I know they're going to come for me.
Kathleen is just like,
so you see how like Messi is gifted, when it comes to football, and people are gifted differently. So the moment that you're not also tapping into your gifts, then you're self-sabotaging, because this is so even for me, I came to realize that for me, even for a long time, I also struggled with my level of self-worthness, being able to see my value. And even right now, I've realized that I'm a woman of value. I've been walking in line with that value. And also nowadays I've been standing on business. So and even demanding of my value, because I know. So now I think in this season I'm just looking ways in which maybe unconsciously maybe I've been sabotaging myself, and how am I just standing on business or in regards to that.
I think on that note, there's also the flip side where when you pray for something, God uses people. So God might use you to probably help someone, So you find yourself, you meet someone, and me, I say there are no coincidences. In fact, one of the things that I try as much as possible is to learn why are you in my life as fast as possible, as early as possible. Ndo tusiwastiane time. If I need to learn a lesson, nimelearn. Bye. If it's supposed to be in my life for forever, the earlier I know, the better the better life you're going to have. But then now you realize because you want to grow as a person. You've asked for growth, for example. Ama you've asked God to change you in a certain way, or you want to unlearn certain things. Then God sends someone.
Yeah.
And then you self-sabotage by misusing this person. Because there's a way you do things.
Yeah.
There are some beliefs, there's some molds that you ascribe to, there's some things that you conform to. So now you misuse this person and then they leave.
Gosh.
Me, let me tell you, I'm really scared about doing that to anyone.
Yeah.
I would rather just keep a distance, try and understand why you're in my life, what you do.
So by the time you figure it out, you don't lose.
Yes, so that I don't lose them. Because it's like me telling God, thank you for this blessing, but I don't want it, And what does that do to you? You will live a very stagnant life. Now that's when you hear people saying, I don't seem to grow. Like I'm stuck. I'm stuck. I don't want to be that person who says, I've been here for 10 years. I don't want that.
Yeah.
So I've learned this year to, if you come into my life, ama if you've been in my life for a considerable amount of time, to just unpack and just visualize, why are you in my life? Good analogies. Why are you working at Centonomy?
At this particular
point in time, why are you in that role? Why do you have to work closely with this person? Why do you have to always have a conversation with this person every day? Why do I have to see you every day? The sooner you realize why this person is in your life, the better for you, and you don't misuse this blessing. So your part here, self-sabotage, it really got to me that now I'm really intentional. Intentional habits. I don't move around with malice. If I ever get an urge to live with malice, I'd rather keep the distance. Let me go work on myself. Let me deal with the demons, first, and then I'll come with pure intentions, with a lot of grace, then I'll experience you as a person.
Yeah, you guys, these women are deep.
Let me tell you,
really deep. And even as we are having this therapeutic session, that you're also kind of reflecting and asking yourself, what are the things you've been able to do this year? What are the achievements you've encountered? What are the fun stuff you've done? Please, if you can, just share with us some on the comment section. We'd be happy to also hear from you and just understand some of the amazing things that you've done. Mambo, take it away.
Hey, it's been deep. I'm in the
it's even hot.
Oh my God, it's been hot. Let me tell you. Anyway, so I want us to feel a bit lighter. And I think the best thing, the thing I usually love to do when I'm feeling any type of way is listen to music. I listen to a lot of music. Akili yangu inakuanga tu music all around too. There's a background song every time I'm thinking. So I have a fun activity for you guys. Mbona mnashtuka?
Mambo.
Ile umeona hiyo ingine vile
Super creative. Tunaanza maswali hapa tuanze
Asisi uliza maswali ati za nini za moksa hapana.
Okay, sawa.
But so I'm going to give you a word.
Okay.
And then you have to sing a song with that word in it.
Sing a song. Guys, I only disclaimer, I only sing in the shower.
If you only sing in the shower, even better. Even better. Maybe not listen.
High school, don't listen to the voice, listen to the words.
Now I am giving you the words. Now we're listening
to the voice. Why, guys? Muni we are ready.
Anyway, you can even mention a song that has the word in it. Okay. So I have 6 of them. So 1, 2, 3. So you'll do 2 each. Okay. And I'm timing you. That's the catch.
Wow.
No,
ni kama tuanze ile sasa. Okay, cool.
Tuanze. Okay. I'm going to give you 5 seconds.
So, you're telling me the word. 10 seconds.
10. You need to be able to 1, 2. No, the urgency. Okay, so 10 seconds.
You tell me the word, and then I'll say a song that has that word in it. Anywhere in the song.
What if you don't know the song?
I wanted to do Kenyan edition, but
okay.
What if you don't know the song?
Okay.
If you don't know the song, just tell us the title.
No, I can sing the song, but
Nisawa. If you can sing the song,
me, I will create songs.
Guys, these songs exist.
Yeah, they do exist. So 10 seconds. Your word is better.
Ungeanza hapo.
Better days are it's called better days. I don't know. I think it's called
better days.
Yeah, yes. See me, I say the words and then she sings for me. Done.
I think you were saying brighter days.
It's brighter. It's better.
There's that song. No one loves me better.
Actually, when I was writing it, that's what I had in mind.
Kathleen to the rescue.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, Wangari. Telepathy, I got you. Shika.
Nataka kukushika mo.
Hey.
That's an old song.
Perfect. Sawa.
Lol.
Kathleen, an easy one. Mungu.
Mungu Baba tuwaomba.
Mambo is not easy. Mimi natoka kwa set.
Sawa, Nikona related to this theme.
Yes.
Not to this theme. Another one. Pressure.
Extra pressure.
When you whine and pause.
Thank you, Wamboi, for saving the day.
Okay, so yours is kidogo hard, but I got you. Yours is 20.
I feel like there's 20.
Nice.
Okay, last one.
I would have said, you know that song, Twende Tuka.
Oh yeah, which you know, it's valid. Nairobi West.
Shout out. Anyway, last one.
Yeah.
We finish with finish.
Finish
Kumalo. Yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys have played that game with us.
Yes. Yeah. Please try it out.
Now, as we delve back into that really deep discussion,
Yes.
I think you guys are a bit later.
Yes. Hey, I thought we offload. Now that we've offloaded, let's talk about something that I mean, especially nowadays, is a really serious thing and something that we need to factor in everything that we do. Let's talk a bit about how your mental health has been in 2024. Whew. Yeah, I can see even one was just like, wow, so I can start. Hey, yeah, to be honest, my mental health this year has really just been all over the place. Like, and you know, the way I was sharing an example about how people have been mentioning my name in rooms, but me now as Ruby, I've just been there just really self-sabotaging and always telling myself, you can't do this. Why would even someone go and say you can do it? You can't do it. And I found myself this year going into a lot. So I cry a lot, but this year I feel like I've cried more than I've cried in a while.
Sure.
I find myself just really feeling like I'm dealing with a lot of imposter syndrome, and feeling like, you know, there's a lot of defeat just being thrown everywhere. But I think one of the things that And it's interesting. I mean, I used to journal a lot. These days I don't journal as much, but of late I've just begun to realize how so much more impactful it is. And this is I just write on my phone. And I've been, to be honest, like I think for the last maybe 1 month, I've been writing notes to myself, like, Ruby, you can do this. Like, you're enough. You are capable. You know, you're blessed. This opportunity has come to you because you have capacity to be able to do it. But I won't lie, it hasn't been easy. There are days you write, then I have to kind of read like 6 times, like, Ruby, you have capacity. And I'm like, okay, Ati, umesema? Yeah. So I don't know, how has your mental health been this year?
So for me, it's been on and off, but I've also come to realize that even when the tides are low, what are you doing about it? And talking about EQ, I also had an EQ conversation with Mocha. You remember in July? The EQ babes.
Shout out to Mucha. Thank you for the opportunity.
I know.
Yes. So for me, and I had referenced about this book called the 5 Regrets of the Dying, and it just highlighted the top 5 things that people regretted when they were on their deathbeds. And for me, and one of them is that you didn't live in authenticity, that you were living a life to please other people and not authentic to you. And also there was not even prioritizing things like friendships. So they were like, I wish I spent more time with my friends. And for me, I think again, it's about self-awareness. So nowadays I've been even during like in the evening, during my wind down, I like to quiet my brain and I like to be reflective and just self-aware. And this is also something that we had discussed even in the team meeting. And I realized that for me, third spaces are very important. And third spaces is, so it's really good for your mental wellness and your social well-being. Your first space is your home where you exist. And then the second space is your workplace. So the third space now means the places that are not your home or work. So this could be now, like for me, a running club. For me, it also looks like a book club, you know, and Karura. So for me, I've also now been very intentional. Usually, if at all maybe on Saturday I'm not working, you will find me out of my house. So I'm either going for brunch with a friend, maybe I'm, you know, book clubbing and all that. So for me, it's just realizing when I've also come to realize when I'm at home, and because I also live alone, like days on end, I now get into, it's called a cabin fever. And now I begin just to feel like deep.
There's just something around the space that's
so it's just, now it's about knowing yourself. So I know, like on Saturdays is usually my days of just going out, meeting friends and just having a good time. And also I remember during my birthday I had reached out to a couple of, you know, influencers or people I admire on the digital space. And I asked them, by the way, given the fact that I'm turning 28, what is a piece of advice that you'd give to, you know, a 28-year-old loved one? What would you tell them? What words of advice do you have for them? And I remember that something that Cultured Cow said, Shiro, and she said that even if in as much life is challenging, life is also beautiful.
Yes, it is.
And she replied to that message. You know, times had passed, but when she replied to that statement, I needed to hear it, and I was like, Ibu, thank you for saying this, because I needed to hear this. And I realized for a hot minute that I had forgotten that the purpose of life is joy. The purpose of life is to feel joyful, and nowadays I've really leaned into joy. That looks like trying out new recipes. I'm always on food talk. That looks like now being with my friends and just hanging out, you know, and prioritizing that, and prioritizing the things that actually brings a joy to the purpose of life is joy. The purpose of life is joy. So I think that is something that has really stood out for me.
As for me, the same thing. Really high highs and some really low lows. And that's such is life. It's not a straight line. There's some bends and curves along the way. But for me, my mental health this year has been up and down. When it's been up, I have had fun. I think this is the year I've had the most fun, and I've prioritized joy as well. And I think something I've forgotten that Christine used to say.
Question everything.
Yeah, not question everything. Okay, I'll come back to it. But I absolutely had a fantastic year mental health wise. But as you're going through your growth journey, you'll find that you'll start questioning things. Yes, you'll start questioning things that will put you now in a very difficult position, even in your mental health. And then also there's also an incident where I'm such an empath. When there was a lot of clashes around in the country that affected me, like it used to affect me so deeply. And I'm also a Twitter girl, so I'm always on X. So that affected me as well. It got to a point that I had to take a social media break. The first that I have taken in years. I think I took a month off all social media. And then I think within that time is when I can say my mental health was in the pits. But after I got out of that slump, go back to Viva again, we are going back to Nanzopia. So after that I was able to it has been smooth sailing. I think this is the year my mental health has not been low the whole time. You know, like I have high highs. I've had high highs and I've had low lows, but the high highs supersede the low lows. So this has been a really good year for me.
Happy for me.
I'm just listening to you guys. Hey. Well, for me, I'm a babe who always embraces the in-betweens.
Okay.
You know? I like staying in between, you know. I like measuring the extent to which the consequence of this side will affect my life before jumping or taking the plunge. But this year, I have not had any in-betweens. When it's good, it's good.
Yes.
When it's bad, it's bad. And when it's bad,
Yeah.
because now, with the in-betweens, you're able to manage. But now when it's bad, I have to really figure out, do I even need this in my life, And I've met someone this year who has really challenged me mentally. That's what I was saying. When you come into my life, I want to know
The purpose.
the purpose.
Yeah.
Why are you in my life? So this person has challenged me mentally in the sense, do not embrace the in-betweens. When it's good, enjoy the good. Because when the bad comes, you will really, miss the good, Because when the bad came, let me tell you, it was so bad. I remember, I don't know, I've cried so much this year to a point where I've felt that. I felt like, is it even worth it? I'm going to choose my fights moving forward, And then being someone who's an empath, and then you're dealing with people who are logical. Now the in-between is you can be analytical and logical, but there's a bit of empathy that you apply to things, So I can put myself in your shoes and then not judge you. So Ruby actually just had a lash out, something is
just
going on.
going through something.
Yes,
It's just
exactly.
erupted.
Yes. But now I've had to question, but why get yourself to that point where
you're erupting in the first place?
And then now you're basking in that space, and it has really challenged me mentally to even realize that the in-between is nothing. You're more or less living like a coward. Face whatever is coming, deal with it, feel the fear, but do it anyway, And it's so hurting when you experience friends who get to a point where they feel so defeated, and then you have to go low with them. They're down, now you have to be down with them and make sure that at least by the time the day is ending, they've actually had a good high, making sure that they're sleeping when they're peaceful, there's a bit of peace that's coming, and that takes a toll on you also as an individual, So my mental state has been challenged. I think this year I've had to take therapy. I was scrolling through Instagram, and at some point it dawned on me, I can't believe I'm looking for therapy organizations, like those mental institutions.
And that's a reality. Mental health is kind of shunned upon.
Yes. And then when you do your first session, and then you get to realize, but you're also too much. Why you just maybe by then nakuanga hivi.
I see what you mean.
Is it because maybe I know how to work around things? There's just a way. There's something that I figured out that actually helps me to
cope.
To cope, But the people in your life don't know how to do this, and they are in your life. So how are you going to help them? You need to help yourself first. So those therapy. 2024
I think I would love to just really also shout out everybody who has brought us joy, supported us to be able to become who we are and just get through this year. Thank you, because
it's been a lot.
It's been a
lot.
I
think the quote I wanted to say is make time for joy, because sadness and bad things will make time for themselves.
Oh wow!
I think yes, and also maybe to.
I think that's the Nini. That's what I have. Not even my potential. That's what I have lived through this year. I have
time for joy.
Time for joy. Maybe I have
building on that.
I have prioritized joy.
Building on that for me. I've realized life is to be lived and not endured.
Yeah.
Period. Yeah.
Kathleen, you said that, and I remember nilisema sijui ama ni jana ama ni juzi. I don't know who I was telling, and I said, anywhere where someone says ati uvumilie. Hakuna kitu mzuri ya kuvumilia. No. Me, by the way, and there's no glorifying suffering. There's no glorifying
and I feel like
suffering.
I don't know
not
if
in
we've
this
been
life.
gaslit into thinking suffering is really good.
Exactly. And I also think people have made it
now we are unlearning this as adults.
That you have to suffer to be able to get a good thing. I don't think so. Good things can actually come and find you looking okay, ready, prepared. You don't need to suffer. And there's no that thing of glorifying suffering is
tunaacha 2024.
Stop it.
Ishe hapo.
Guys, Aki, time is really moving fast, but I have one question that I'd like to ask even as we are winding up. What's a book or a movie you've read this year that has just been outstanding or shifted the game? Yes.
I'm currently watching a series called The Resident.
Okay.
It's a health. Okay, it's a deep series.
Yes.
But it has made me realize that there's two sides to everything.
Okay.
And you have to choose.
Yeah.
And the thing is, with life, God has given us the gift of choice. But then God, and I feel like most people never talk about it. Never talk about this. Is whatever choice you make, you live with it.
Oh,
That's the thing. If you want to change, you have to go back to that point where you made that choice
and
change
flip,
it, and then flip, and you could even go back 20 years. You know,
correct.
so there's two sides. It's about the healthcare industry, blah blah blah. So there's a corporate healthcare where people are concerned about profits. They don't care about whether you live or die. What as long as you've got good insurance, you're a good person. You know. Then there's this other side of doctors and good surgeons who are trying to save lives. You know, so life is like that. So are you going to be this side, or are you going to be this side? I'm not saying don't be a bad person, because at some point you have to be bad in order for you for things to move, you know.
Until they said you have to be bad.
But when you choose that bad, please realize that you have to live with the consequences of that bad for the rest of your life. So make that thing the residence. Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Hey, must watch. Yeah,
So
I'll go to watch it when I haven't watched it.
Yeah, for me, I watch a lot of animation. Inside Out has been really good. Inside Out was really good. And I think, can I say a podcast?
Yeah.
A podcast. The Trevor Noah podcast has been holding me down. I love that man down.
Yeah.
By the way, so I like listening to people who have depth. So Trevor Noah does. So he's been my favorite this year. Yeah.
For me, I said the year by reading The Year of Yes by Shonda Rhimes. If you haven't read that book, I feel like that is the book for you. And I like the fact that she was very raw. She was very authentic. She was very vulnerable. She said things as is. And I feel like she really challenged me and my beliefs and what I believe that I can achieve. And even just again doing it afraid, you know. And if at all you've not read any book, I feel like The Year of Yes by Shonda, that is a must read.
Maliza 2024 na hiyo kitabu tafadhali.
Ama uanze 2025 nayo. First one.
Yeah. So for me, I've been watching a series called The Rookie, and it's about cops and how they're going to training and then they become cops. And I think I really enjoyed it. And the thing about it is, and I like what Kathleen said about kind of looking at two sides of things, is just also seeing, you know, what do cops have to go through to be able to keep places safe, to be able to take care of people? What are the things, you know, you get attacked, sometimes someone will shoot at you, and what are the things that you have to continue to maybe endure or go through even as you serve a nation? And I'm like, you know, there's no part of the coin that's ever an easy one. I know from when you're looking from outside, you might look at people and say that, oh, that must look like such a simple thing. But in reality, it really, really isn't. So just kind of seeing both sides of the coin. And I know, I mean, when we sit here, I want to say confessions of Nairobi men and women.
We were obsessed as an office. We were obsessed with confessions. This entire team has read all confessions books.
Kitabu yangu iko na
Ilizunguka ofisi. Mimi nilikuwa najua tu nimebukio Nairobi Women, Confessions of Nairobi Men, and we are successfully traumatized.
First of all, I'm an empath. So some of those stories, me, I was just like, this is too much. And in fact, I'm in book 2, lakini nimepause kidogo juu na feel kama you really carry the weight. But I think for me, what they have helped me to appreciate are like two major things. Number one, everyone is going through something.
Yes, even be kind.
Going through something. Please be kind. It could be a small thing. It could be a big thing. It could be a trauma that they have held since they were children.
Literally.
Something they encountered when they were children that is now affecting their adult life. So please extend kindness.
Confessions of Nairobi Men.
Kindness. If you haven't read it and you would like to read, please grab your tissues. Just be ready. Be ready because they are heavy. Yeah. So for me, those are the things I could stand on. I mean, I know time has really, really gone. So let's just do our parting shots. But even as we're doing that, guys, please feel free to write for us in the comment section. How has your 2024 been? What has stood out for you? What are the achievements you've encountered, challenges? How is your mental health? You know, what's just happening? And even if you're not able to write everything, maybe take some time to actually just review and see how your year has been so that it can build up to what you'd want to do maybe next year. And also so that you can check out on the things that you've done this year that you're really, you are worth being celebrated for. So maybe we can start on your side, Kathleen. Do you have a parting shot for us? I would probably want to encourage someone who's probably gone through
a rough year, you know. We're talking and laughing, but you know where it hits home. I just want to encourage you that learn the lessons that you need to learn so that you don't carry it to 2025. And take it from me. This year has been rough on me emotionally and mentally, but I'm grateful that I've gotten to a point where I'm not hitting the snag. I've taken my lessons. I have learned where I'm the problem, you know. I have embraced my mistakes and I'm correcting them as I go, you know. It's progress over perfection.
Oh, yes.
Progress over you make one small step forward, good job. Pat yourself in the back and say, I've done this. I will do it until I get to a point in time when I say, I don't miss that old version of myself. And that's the thing about growth. You will have to reject that old version and it will resist. That's why we hear people saying, I miss doing this, I miss doing that, I miss doing this. But you have to reject that person so that at least you can be the person that you want to be. So embrace the growth, embrace the lessons, embrace life, you know, and please don't misuse those people who are in your life. You misusing them is you misusing God's blessing. And once you do that, your life will stagnate in ways that you can't even fathom. But other than that, I wish you all the best. May you have a good 2025 and may God meet you at the point of your needs.
Yep. That's intense. Yeah.
Amen.
So my parting shot is if all you did in 2024 was keep yourself alive and live, you have done enough. You have done enough. So next year is a new year. You have 365 more days. Let's begin the year 2025 with a bang. Oh, again, progress over perfection, a step at a time. Tutafika.
That's deep. And for me, as I've just mentioned, the purpose of life is joy. Please prioritize joy. Prioritize joy. And even as I had mentioned earlier about you need self-awareness. And they say that the greatest agent of change is self-awareness. Amma?
Yes.
Yeah, so be self-aware and also figure out in what ways are you self-sabotaging and what are you going to do about it. So that you can actually live to the fullest with the potential that God had put in you when he created you. You deserve to live life to the fullest.
Guys, this guys are deep. Hey. For me, my parting shot is, listen, 2024 has been what it has been in whatever capacity, but you remain you. You've, just as Wambo said, you're alive. You get to experience this moment at this particular time. So whatever it is that it has been, extend grace to yourself, but also correct yourself. So extend grace where, you know, you've been stretched, but don't also sit in your bad habits or the things that you know that you're not rising to your full potential or you're not being true to yourself. So be true to yourself, rise above all the noise that you hear, and above all things, imagine, just appreciate yourself for what you've done. For everybody who has held your hand or mentioned your name in rooms, man, God bless them for you. And become also that person that mentions people who've done amazing stuff in rooms where they can be able to also grow and stretch and just become the best version of themselves. Ladies, thank you so much for spending time.
Like therapy. Oh my God. I'm so emotional. Oh my God. Let's do this again.
Let's make sure.
I feel
we never got to use this.
we had tissues, guys. Everyone
was
had
gonna go
tissues.
south, so
We thought she was gonna, but I'm also emotional. I'm also very. We are here. Let's just.
Thank you guys
let's
for
just
joining
end this.
us. Please feel free to subscribe so that you can get to hear more amazing conversations as you're ending 2024. We truly do wish you all the best, and we wish you the best even as you walk into 2025. Bye-bye.
Bye.